So what if I told you that all your ball striking woes, we're going to fix by copying something that Scottie Scheffler does that you've been told not to do for years? Now, for me, when the golf ball's on the ground, lots of golfers come and see me because they struggle getting consistent contact with the ball. And they'll very often make swings where they fat the ball, top the ball, or somewhere in between where they thin it. But all too often, they're unable to get that nice, crisp ball and then ground contact. And yet Scottie Scheffler, world #1 golfer, is probably, certainly since Tiger Woods, the finest ball striker in the game of golf. Now, what's really important to understand when we're trying to get that ball and then ground contact, and this is very much irons, hybrids, and even fairway woods when the ball's on the ground, we've got to make sure that as we're making our golf swing, we're moving the lowest point of our swing ahead of the golf ball so that the club travels down, it collects ball and then ground. Now, when we watch the best player in the world, what he does fantastically well is from face on, so in the backswing, as he makes his turn, he loads onto that right leg, and as he starts his downswing, his hips move way closer to the golf ball. His head still stays fairly back, but really moves that pelvis ahead, and as he swings down, moves that low point way ahead of the golf ball. But all too often for golfers, they're told that they need to try and stay almost still and over the ball, and as they come down into impact, we can see they never really get those hips moving towards the target. And if I hit a shot doing what most golfers do, we see club head speed nearly 80 mile an hour, ball speed 85.6, low point 1.2 inches behind. Club's travelled up as it's hit the ball but have caught the ground first and 110 carry. But if I have that idea about how Scottie's moving, so I'm not saying he moves way off the ball this way, but what he does is he kind of loads into that trail leg really well, and then before the upper body starts to unwind, he moves the hips way towards the target and then swings down. So if I just hit a shot like that, we see 84 mile an hour, so not a huge pickup in club head speed, but 117 ball speed, low point 3.6 inches ahead, clubs travel down 4.4 degrees, and 163 yards carry. So just from a striking the golf ball perspective, the ability for us to move the mass of our body much further ahead, and I don't want you worrying about am I sliding towards the target. The best player in the world is sliding those hips well towards the target, and there is another benefit to that I'm going to show you down the line in a second. But we'll just do one more of those where we get to the top, feel like the hips really move a long way towards the target. 85 mile an hour club speed, ball speed 119, low point further ahead, clubs move down more, and 165 carry. So that movement with the hips guarantees that we're going to start getting that low point ahead of the golf ball and getting that ball and then ground contact. But the other thing it does really well, if we look down the line, now a lot of golfers are told that as they get to the top of their swing, they need to get the club shallowing down. Now it's interesting when you watch Scottie down the line, he definitely works back nicely, gets into a good position, but his hands definitely steepen slightly, but that ability to work much more laterally towards the target gets the hands to then drop down. So even though his hands start to steepen, they don't keep going. So not only is moving the hips towards the target great for moving low point, it's a fantastic way of shallowing the golf club as well. So we're going to get that feel, we get to the top, upper body doesn't move, hips move much more towards the target, and I almost want you to feel like you're overdoing it, like you could even fall over as you do that. And you can see you even start to get a little bit of the Scheffler shuffle in there. So we're going to set up again, really focus on moving those hips. Again, 85 mile an hour, 119 ball speed, low point nearly 4 inches ahead, club 4.6 down, and 166 carry. Now, I'll also notice with those shots, I'm starting to get some incredibly similar numbers. So club head speed, ball speed are consistent, angle of attack's consistent, and therefore distance is consistent. And I also think that's a big issue for a lot of golfers. They stand up there, they do that first one where they hit it 110, but then somehow they manage to get the club on the ball and it goes 140. It's very hard picking the correct club when you've got no idea how far the ball's going because that strike's so inconsistent. So many people worry about what Scottie's feet are doing. Don't worry about his feet. What he's able to do is use the ground really nicely and consistently to deliver the club with speed, with precision. And that's what really makes him, particularly with his irons, such an amazing player. So we don't want to be worried about just staying dead still and centered over the golf ball. Yes, he stays fairly centered on the way back, but on the way down, there's that massive shift towards the target. Let's see if we do one more good one. So 87 mile an hour, 117 ball speed, low 0.5 inches ahead, club traveling down 5.8, and again 158 carry. So I'm not saying we want all of your golf swing looking like Scottie Scheffler's, but if you really focus on how he uses that lower body, and on the backswing, everything's good, but the upper body doesn't move first. The lower body drives hard towards the target. Then from there, everything can turn out the way. Low point's way ahead of the golf ball. And with every shot when the ball's on the ground, he's touching way ahead of the golf ball, de-lofting the club, compressing the ball. And we might not hit all our shots quite as good as Scottie Scheffler, but it'd be nice just to have a little bit more of that in our golf game.